there's always an opportunity to, change, pivot, and adjust. It's, nothing is written in stone, and everybody makes mistakes.
Right. Well, speaking, when you said scale and when you said about taking over, and I mentioned the $14 million enterprise on a large operation, right?
Yeah.
Let's focus on that, okay? Because you and I, now, folks, full disclosure, I always tell the folks that I work at V&J. I'm a writer there. Mm-hmm. So, I myself have been involved in this lovely industry for 30 years, right? I was, I tell the people all the time, I was an insurance adjuster, inside, outside, the whole thing, right? Handle claims, settle claims, injuries, all this shit, no fault, the whole 9 yards. And now I've been on the body shop side. It'll be 10 years, in the end of July. But I think for V&J, and that's why I wanted to get your perspective on being a young guy that just all of a sudden took over. It's not like you bought like a 2-car operation, right? I mean, you bought a small operation. You bought a huge operation, which I would think by anybody's practical standards is a reflection on the 21st century, right? It's big, but it's also productive. And it's also reflective of investment in equipment and people and resources and training and things like that. So how does that compare with the rest of the industry? Like, how do you contrast V&J and, where we're at as an organization with an industry that doesn't necessarily always,
I get where you're going, and
I guess I'm trying to say that there's not always equilibrium with that, right? That we're big, successful, state of the art, but contrast that with the rest of the industry.
Yeah. The industry is very fragmented and also very behind. They don't keep up with the times.
Right.
And so we tried to, and this was even prior to, taking over, tried to stay on the forefront and do stay on the forefront, whether it's training, whether it's equipment, whether it's certification, just being the first to do something and not being late to the show. And that definitely helped make it possible to separate ourselves and be a unicorn in a space that doesn't have a really good rep, being completely honest.
Right.
It's got a very old school, Italian mafia movie reputation.
Yeah.
And it's, you have to be a differentiator.